Good evening, everyone. Good to have you here.
Good evening.
Saturday evening, I know people are busy, they have plans, will be joining us. But in the meantime, any query from yesterday's discussion, any point of discussion we can have, they'll join us in a moment.
Hi there. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Okay, they will join us. A quick recap of yesterday's discussion. We were talking about this need of parental coaching, why it is needed. And one fact which is very important to be understood is that we don't choose to behave in certain manner. It's our default patterns. Maybe the source of those patterns could be our inborn traits or something which we acquired from the society. But there's no parent who is going to harm their child or the one who is going to hinder their growth knowingly, consciously, or wantedly. Unknowingly, unconsciously, and unwantedly end up doing things inappropriately. So I was talking about some practices which we are not doing mindfully, like we discussed about listening. It's not that we are consciously avoiding our child, it's just that we have an adult mindset while dealing with our kids. The moment you change your mindset while dealing with them, things will change. We all want our kids to be independent, but still we do overprotective parenting and we're making them dependent. We don't choose it, we do it. Reasons could be many, but I was just highlighting that there are certain things which we are not doing knowingly. Many of you are from teaching, right? If you see a society, have you seen parents of young kids? They have bought some gaming consoles, gaming gadgets for their kids, PlayStations, Xbox. How many of you have you seen? They have invested in gaming consoles, Amazon Fire Stick, PSP, Xbox for their 8 years old or 10 years old child. Seen? What is the intent when they gift these things to those kids? Do you think their intention is wrong? No. They are doing it to give entertainment to child, a companion to child to be engaged for their pleasures, maybe out of peer pressure, maybe out of love. The reasons could be many, but intention is not wrong. But outcome is. If we go scientifically, biologically, if we see the impact of these 3D view video games on child's brain development, believe me, if you people or anyone will get to know it, they will never gift it. At least they will never gift it. Rather, they will be stopping their child to play 3D view games. Because before 12 years of age, these 3D view games can alter their brain patterns permanently. And it's a science, complete science behind it. That how their brain waves get altered and how their mental hyperactivity level won't go on to another level. And once this pattern is permanently changed, it will not come back to normal. It will impact their concentration, their behaviors, a lot of damages are there. But when we ask those parents that why you are gifting these gaming consoles and gaming gadgets to your kids, the answer is entertainment, engagement. Others are doing it. They don't know the harm. There are certain things which we do for good, but we don't know the consequences, the outcome of it. And there are many. There are many behaviors like that which we don't choose, but we end up doing. Why? Because we are not mindful, one. Second, we are not aware. We are not aware about the consequences. Our mindfulness is totally dependent on how much we are aware of the consequences of one behavior. And it's all game of perspectives, I believe. Has it
Can
happened?
I share something?
Yes, yes.
Many at times I have seen with the parents being in the teaching profession that they have their own belief system, because what they have not received from their parents when they were children, they want to provide everything to the child what they were deprived of. One reason.
Absolutely.
And another reason I found that mothers are so pre-equipped that what they want is they want the children to have their food quickly, so they give them the gadget, okay, watch the video and then let them have the food. So child eats the complete food. So they are happy that my child has eaten the food, and they don't know what exactly they are doing.
Absolutely. What you are telling is the reasons why they are doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they know the consequences, they will not be able to justify that I'm just that my child shall eat food quickly. I
This
am
was the
altering their
surprise.
brain.
This was the surprise that most of the parents belong to the science background. They know the things, but still they do it.
Believe me, they don't know. Actually, they don't know. I'll give you a very interesting analogy. Let's understand that. I hope you will get to know the reality. We lot of things we think we know. We all know that video games are not good. We know this, yes or no? We know early exposure of digital gadgets to the child is not good. We know this. We know that it's not good, but actually we don't know the harm attached to it. We know it's not good. We don't know it is how it is harmful. That is the problem. The day we will get to know how it is harmful, we will automatically be able to stop it. Understood? We all know that maida is not good for us. Like if I give an example, typically that Maggie, if I talk about, I'm sure many of you are not serving Maggie to your kids just because you know that it's not good. Not good. But still it happens sometimes. Since we know it's not good, we know it's not good, still it is being sold, still it is part of people, this kitchen, it is being served. But there was a moment when there was a big news that Maggie is harmful. It has some poisonous substance. Yes or no? If you recall way back, there was a day when we got to know that Maggie has some harmful substance, and we zeroed down investing in Maggie. Yes or no? Yes or no? That is the difference between not good and harmful. Till the time it is not good, still it will be served. The day you will get to know the harm, it will not be served. Believe me. So if we think कि parents को सब पता है science background से हैं, actually they don't know. They don't know the harm. If I explain you the harm attached to 3D view games, it may take time, but believe me, you will actually get to know how these 3D view engagements are impacting their brain waves. If you have heard of concept of brain waves, alpha, theta, beta, gamma, right? Their volatility of brain waves get permanently altered. And once it is altered, you will not be able to even concentrate, read. I'll not take much time, but since this topic is there, it will be value for all. So I'll not explain in detail, but just to ask you, how many of you have played any game in which any car is running, any person is running Temple Run, Subway Surfer, any car racing game, any bike racing game, any helicopter game, Clash of Clan, Clash of anyone? Honestly, if anyone played, raise your hand, please, if I get to know. If any one of you have played this type of game, I don't know whether you will be able to recall or not, but the moment you start playing those games, you're in that game, the visuals are so fast, you have to respond to the visual reflex. A car is going very fast, the scene is changing, the game is making you play. The game speed is this, when you play, your speed is this when you first time play, and gradually you match up the speed of game. Am I right, wrong? Anyone who played it? Actually, it's not speed of thinking which is growing. It is speed of this response to reflex. The scene is changing in the game, and we have to respond. And that too, it is more of eye to finger coordination. We have to respond through thumbs and fingers. What happens when you play those games? This portion get heated. Actually, the brain waves, especially our theta and beta brain waves, get highly volatile. And when it is highly volatile, you can't concentrate. You can try it today. If any one of you had played, you know how to play it. Play any of this type of game, car racing game, or any temple run, subway surfer type fast game. You play for 15-20 minutes, and after exactly 20 minutes, keep your gadget aside. Exactly after 20 minutes of play, keep your gadget aside and pick up your favorite book to read. Try. Now you will get to know the real impact. You are trying to read a book, you will not be able to read the book. Try. Because reading requires subtle brain waves, and right now, when you are playing this game, volatility of your brain waves is very high. Right? If any one of you know the concept, this assessment of brain waves called EEG. Anyone heard? Like we have heart waves ka analysis called ECG. Same way we have a brainwave analysis called EEG. While these kids play these games, if you check their EEG, you'll get to know their brain waves are highly volatile and they are mentally hyperactive, and it will be a temporary damage. If you play it once or twice, it will not be a big damage. It will be a temporary damage. But when they play it with the frequency, their brain pattern get changed, waves pattern get changed permanently. Though this concept is well explained in our toddler program in digital parenting concept, but it is something to be known, I think, because there are many parents, those who are out of love, out of just a digital engagement, they actually don't know this huge difference. Right now, you are attending this class. This is also a digital engagement. You watch a movie, that's also a digital engagement, and you play these video games, it's also a digital engagement. But there is great amount of difference between all three engagements. In this engagement, nothing is moving on the screen. I'm the only one who is moving, and that too slowly. If you watch a normal movie, things are subtle. No much color variation, no much light variation, no much speed. But when you play these 3D view games, colors, lights, everything is fluctuating at a fastest pace. And our brain has to accommodate to that speed. When they try to do it, one portion get active, which is impacting their routine activities. Kids, those who play 3D view games, you must have seen that they are not good at slow reflex activities. Their eating get impacted, their reading get impacted, their writing get impacted. All those jobs which they have to do easily in a subtle way got impacted. Their concentration got impacted. Even if they have a super brain, if they can't concentrate, input will not go inside. Even if this brain is superior, if input will not go, output will not be great. But parents don't know exactly about the biological harm attached to this 3D video. We know it's not good. That's what I want to explain. That not good or harmful there's huge difference. The day things move from not good to harmful category, we are able to control. Till the time we know it's not good, it's keep going. We are unable to control. We are not that firm with the kids with those things. The day you get to know the harm, then you will be firm. At least you will not serve anything bad, anything harmful to your child on the name of entertainment. I'm sure. Yes or no? Provided you know how it is harmful, right? So that is why I told that we are not actually that we are choosing our behaviors. It's just that many things we don't know, we are not aware of, we are not mindful, we are not conscious about the consequences which are attached to those things. I just want to know from you, how many times it happened that you behaved in a certain manner with your child, you dealt with your child, in a certain way, and later you felt bad about your emotions and feelings. You felt bad about your treatment with the child. How many times has it happened? Honestly, that you behaved with the child, you dealt them, but later you felt bad about yourself. I shouldn't be that angry. I shouldn't be that loud. Have happened ever? I'm sure with everyone. If it happened that you felt bad about your actions, your behaviors, that means actually we know what is right and what is wrong. Tabhi that guilt is coming. You know what you did was wrong. That is why you're feeling bad about it. Then why it happened? If you knew it, then why it happened?
It's our unconscious and what we say cause effect, just reflection.
Maybe you absolutely right. Unconsciously, we were not mindful in the moment. Maybe the state of mind which I had at that time, when I'm angry, if I choose to treat my child, of course that will be reaction, it will never be response. Yes
It
or
was
no?
an impulsive reaction.
Absolutely, it's an impulsive reaction. It's a reaction, it is not a response. Reactions are always out of control. Responses are well thought, controlled. But that means we don't want to do it, but we end up doing it. Why? Because we are not mindful in the moment. Things are not in our control. And I'll just give you one quick tip on this, which works wonders. In this case, we have a very typical tendency of catching kids doing wrong things and correcting them on the spot. On the spot. The moment right now, even if you're right now attending a program, if your child is doing something wrong, immediately your attention will go there. If something wrong is going on, if something good is going on, there may be attention or may not be attention. It's not granted. But if it is something wrong going on, for granted your attention will go there. Yes or no? And our tendency is to correct them on the spot. Now, it's a very normal behavior that the moment I caught my child doing something wrong, will I be happy at that time? Will I be joyous at that time? What will be my emotion at that time? Either angry or frustrated, irritated, fearful. Yes or no? These will be the emotions, of course, not positive one. If I just noted my child is doing something wrong, either I'll be fearful or angry or frustrated or irritated. In the impact of these emotions, if you choose to correct your child, will you be able to respond? My question. Tell me. Under the impact of those strong emotions, if you choose to correct your child, will you be able to respond or you will react?
No, it will be a reaction to the emotions.
For sure, it will be reaction because our tendency is catching them doing wrong things and correcting them on the spot. It's a very pro trait, correcting them on the spot. और बच्चा दिखता ही तब है हमें जब वो गलती कर रहा हो. If they're doing something good, many a time we take it granted. ये तो करना ही है. You have to do it. Right? Now what happens? If we go with the same tendency, then definitely we'll be doing wonders. Things may not be in our control. And if we choose to control our emotions, that's very tough. We all tried many a times. Many a time we failed. Controlling emotions is the toughest thing. But one thing you can do, if we can't control emotions all the time, then we can at least choose not to correct the child when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, when I'm irritated. This can be done. Postpone your correction. If you just postpone your correction, the moment after 1 hour or 2 hours or 15 minutes, when you will be doing correction, automatically you will be in the right. At least your emotions which just popped up the moment you caught your child, the emotions will pop up. That will settle down. Maybe after 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The right time to correct the child is when you feel I am out of the impact of those strong emotions. Postpone correction. We have been given a narrative from young age that strike the iron when it is hot. Strike the iron when it is hot. Strike the iron when it is hot. And the same rule we are applying everywhere. It is hot. Just now I have to strike. Now child just made a mistake. That's the time to correct them. Now this approach of striking the iron when it is hot works wonders on metals, not on correcting behaviors, not on correcting and shaping characters. It works ulta. अगर ये समझ आ गया, if you understood it, in all relationships, you will automatically have better relationships. In all relationships, you'll never spoil it based on your emotional triggers. If you just postpone your corrections, means I will not be able to control my emotion, but I at least choose not to correct when I'm angry, not to correct when I'm under the impact of strong emotions. और ये emotions होंगे कौन से? Anger हो सकता है, frustration, irritation, fear also, fear and anxiety also. Maybe if I saw my child doing something, I may get fearful that they will fail. Yes or no? That triggers us. Just a small tip. Though there are many other, I'm just giving you one tip that this is also one behavior which we don't choose, but we end up doing. Right? Many a time, since we have expectations as parents, being humans, from our kids, if those expectations are not fulfilled, right? If those expectations are not fulfilled, our brain may compare our kids with others. You may not speak that comparison, but your brain do it. Yes or no? Do you agree that brain start comparing child, and mostly we compare on those things which are not happening. Which are happening, we hardly compare on those things. Which are not happening is bothering us. But if you compare your child, if you speak it up, right? Don't you think it will impact your child's emotion, their self-esteem? Do we really choose? Do parents choose to compare their kids? It happens automatically. And sometimes some wrong ideas they have, we are doing it for positive comparison. We are doing healthy comparison. Yes or no? I just want to motivate my child. I want to inspire my child. That is why I'm comparing. It is healthy. Now, interesting fact about this analogy is it says there is no concept called healthy comparison. There is no concept called positive comparison. For a receiver, the impact is always negative. This definition of positive and negative, healthy and unhealthy comparison is at giver's end. It is giver's mindset. For receiver, it is always negative. If I today thrice or 4 times in this meeting, if I say last foundation program there was so much contributions, last foundation we contributed a lot, last foundation program all participants were so much contributing. My intention is to motivate you so that you contribute, you ask questions, right? In last foundation program everybody opened up their videos. My intention is that you open up your videos, but I'm sure the moment I'll just say it 3rd time, you'll feel bad. So what, Manish? Hoga fir last foundation day mein. In this foundation, we are sitting, we are different. Why you are saying this? You start feeling bad. My intention may be good. My intention may be healthy, but you start feeling bad. Why you are being compared with someone? I'll give you one good example. If I just say, see, Namrata is keeping the video on, but Paramjeet is not doing it. I just randomly named 2 people, but I made you conscious immediately. Yes or no? And right now, if Paramjeet is listening to me, right? Paramjeet right now is very conscious. Why my name has been given compared to Namrata? Unwanted stress I have given to them. Unwanted. Even if they choose to avoid it, they can't avoid it because I named 2 people. And if I named Paramjeet, right, in comparison to Namrata, Paramjeet I made conscious. Even if they want to try to avoid it, still they can't avoid it. Because the moment we compare our kid with someone, whatever be the reason is, positive or negative, healthy or unhealthy, we are passing on an unwanted stress to them. If we keep doing it, self-worth, self-esteem get impacted. Even there are many those who shy away from social situations, social parties. If I go with my papa in the party, they will compare me with one other fellow. They have start avoiding social environment. So there are many impacts. But do we choose it? No, we don't choose it. How many times it happened with you that you realize that knowingly or unknowingly that there has been disagreement of parents in front of child? We were negotiating with each other on child related topics in front of child. Happened. And I'm not saying that this negotiations are loud. Sometimes it happens, child is demanding something, papa is saying, le lo, mama saying, nahi, chalo fir end. Means this disagreement is in a very subtle way, it's quite audible and visible to child. Happens. Did you notice that a 2.5, 3 years old child knows everything? Whom to approach for chocolate, whom to approach for outing, whom to approach for this, and whom to approach for that. We haven't given it in the writing that these are mom's job and these are dad's job. They know it. Even a 2 years old child know किससे कौन सा काम करवाना है. How do they know it? They know it through our conduct. Consciously, we don't choose to disagree, but it's quite visible. Many a time it happens. The worst thing is when we start negotiating and arguing in front of kids related to child development topics, related to their demands. Now, young child may not take big advantage of it, but a grown-up will definitely take. And we must have experienced. They negotiate more the moment they see they have disagreement. So they choose the favorable one. And the other problem is it gives them clear scope that it is possible. If your child come to you, a 13 years old child, and is asking you that buy me a bike, what will be your answer? A 13 years old child is asking you, buy me a bike, what will be your answer?
Absolute
It'll be a
no.
no.
Of course, no, Hana? No. If there are 4 family members are at home, grandparents and parents, 4 parents at home, the child is asking everyone, and if everyone is speaking same language, believe me, child will automatically understand that they're not going to do it. If everybody said that the day you will be in legitimate age to get your license, you'll buy your bike. If this is the answer, right?
So if you make them understand the rules and then give an answer, I think so that should be also fair.
Taken, but on rules, the response of parents shall be same. Now you said, as a mother, you said that until you get into legitimate age, you are not going to get the bike. But there is one parent who said, you know your mama now. Are you getting me? You can't buy.
I can connect
Now,
with it because
see,
yes, I know few parents like, they gave their children bike when they were like 15, 16. And then like front of me, they are telling also that, okay, fine, just ensure that you never remove your helmet and never break any rule that, if any policeman catches you. So never remove your helmet because they'll see. And I was shocked because how parents
tell
can
you,
actually
there
tell
is-
a child like that way.
now point over which I want to make over here.
Yeah.
That I'll come to this point also, very interesting point you brought. The first point which I was highlighting, if one parent is saying no, the second parent is saying no, third parent is giving them a scope. Okay, your papa will not agree, your mama will not agree. If they will give them a scope, they will knock your head again and again because you've given a scope. You are not firm in your response. When they know that there is scope of getting it, it's just that mama doesn't agree. Papa to is agreed. And now they will negotiate more. They will do their best effort to negotiate. But if everybody is speaking same language, they will get a clarity that they're not going to do it. And unknowingly, we do give this We show them that we are not in consensus and they take advantage of it. A grown-up will take definitely a bigger advantage. And what Namrata highlighted, I'll be briefly discussing it. One parent who was feeling that I'll give bike to my child. अब ये सुनना बड़ा interesting phenomena है. Teenage program में we discuss it. When one parent is giving bike to the child and expecting that they will not be driving fast, expecting that they will be wearing helmet. You are giving phone to your child and you are expecting that they will maintain the time limits. It will be a foul expectation. I'll give you the reason, scientific reason. The scientific reason behind it is that hormones multiply their emotions in this age. If I'm thrilled, I'm double thrilled. Suppose if there is a 30 years adult and a 15 years teenager, they both are doing same job. They both are getting thrill out of it. A 30 years individual, if they are getting X amount of thrill out of it, a teenager will get double to triple X amount of thrill out of it. If I'm consuming beer as an adult, if I'm getting X amount of pleasure out of it, teenager will get 3 times pleasure out of it because their hormones multiply their emotions. So when they drive fast, they get thrill, and when they get double or triple thrill, they will not be able to stop them. There's a very powerful truth about teenage, which says teens have no limits. It is we who have to draw limits for them. Or if you have given them a bike in that age and expecting that they will drive slow, not possible. Whenever they will be in thrill, they have no speed breaker, they have no speed limit in life. Same in other cases also. If you allow them to have a mobile phone and you are expecting the child will be mindfully keeping those limits, they will not be able to. It will be a foul expectation. On certain areas, parents have no possibility of negotiation. Wherever it is going to impact life of a child, health of a child, physical safety of child, can we have difference of opinion? If your child, a 13 years old child, is asking you that I have to go to with my friends on a night out of a city and there is no adult supervision, will you allow? Can there be any scope of negotiation on that?
No.
But we may end up doing negotiation the moment we have shown the lack of consensus among parents. Are you getting me? When one parent is saying no, the other parent is saying, Mama will not agree. देखते हैं, कल बताएंगे. Right? You are not yet in 8th. You are not yet in 9th. Some weak responses, which clearly shows that there is scope, and the moment they get the scope, they keep knocking. Right? I'm just highlighting it that there are certain things which we don't choose, we end up doing it. Many a time it happens that to get things done from them, we offer them something extra. Happens. To get things done from them, we offer them something extra. Material.
That it happens.
Happens. And
Yes,
it will happen again and again if we found the moment we give extra, things happen. If things are happening by giving extra, many a time it becomes a pattern of parent. To get things done, they keep offering them extra.
The first step of bribery.
And one day when it will become a bribe state at home, when it will
exactly. The first step of bribery.
When it will turn bribing, the child's development will be on the stake. Their potentials will be on the stake. We don't know. You want to make your child responsible. We all want our kids to be responsible. Yes. According to their age, they shall be taking responsibility. But if I want that my child shall be responsible, and I propose my child, if you water the plants, I'll give you extra screen time. If you help mama in kitchen, I'll give you chocolate. Are you really making them responsible? Tell me. Will they ever become responsible for the job which is assigned to them?
No. It'll be like a treat to them.
Yes.
It's conditional responses.
Conditional
Corrupting the
responses.
minds.
They are not
Corrupting the minds.
even if they are doing it, even if they are watering the plant, even if they are helping mama in kitchen, We many a time get happy that they are doing it, but they are not doing it out of responsibility. They are doing an obligation on parent, and parent is compensating that obligation. Yes or no? But we feel we made them responsible, and later we will expect that they will behave responsibly. Why they will? They just did some favors to you. You compensated those favors. How can we expect that they will understand it as their role, as their duty, as their responsibility? Extras. These extras, the journey of these extras, the bribing, is going to impact their life badly. They have potentials, but they will not do it. When people are bribed, their first response is always denial. Check. People, those who are in those positions where they get bribed, their first response is always denial. अगर वो yes बोल देगा तो bribe कोई नहीं देगा. If you are giving your kids that extras, whenever you will ask them to do something, their first response will be denial. Even if they can do, even if they wish to do it, still they will be in denial. Because the moment they will be in denial, then only you will offer something extra. And they are waiting for that extra. So do you really want that your child shall be always in denial about doing things? Which they can do, which they shall do? No, but we do. We create that environment at home. The bribing environment. By doing extras. It happens with us also. Even we feel, we get in denial. Like, I have this luxury to be with you all, that all those who are this into when you shop things, if you know that this one place is giving you regular 365 days, they have an offer, a discount, right? Which has offered you a 1+1 or 30% off or 40% off on same brand. One day you go and there is everything fresh, no discount is there, and the pricing is same, quality is same. You feel that the pricing is unfair. Happens or not? Happens. Agree?
Yes.
Most of us are offering on Zomato, this ordering on Zomato, Swiggy. How many of us? Those who order frequently. Now Zomato and Swiggy, they keep giving us 20% off, 30% off, 40% off. Suppose one day you are going to order food of $1,000 and there is no offer, zero offer. Pricing is same. Many a time we restrict ourselves. It is unfair. अब मिल 1000 रुपए में 1000 रुपए का ही सामान मिल रहा है. We are getting $1,000 this food by paying 1,000, but we still feel that it is unfair pricing because that app has made you conditioned to get that extra, either extra or discount, and we restrict ourselves to order. Or even if you had to order, you feel cheated, unfair pricing. Or you switch your the service provider. You will move from Zomato to Swiggy to check whether they have a code. Happens. It's not that we are anyways quite mindful about this pricing and all, but anyways, that's how they condition our brain. We condition our child's brain until that extra is not there. They don't feel like doing things. If we are unknowingly building up this pattern, we have to de-pattern it. It has to be de-patterned. Right? Got it?
Yes.
That
Yeah.
means, I wanted to highlight, there are a lot of behaviors which we don't choose, but we end up doing. Certain words, adjectives. Now, we are very pro. Please don't mind. Check as a mother, check as a parent, that does it happen sometime when we experience one particular behavior of child, right? Or one particular approach of child, we start naming that behavior. Happens? If your child is not sitting at one place for long, we start calling them. If your child is moving here and there all the time, not sitting at one place for long, what we call them?
ADHD.
Not ADHD. ADHD a parent will not give, maybe a expert may give, but the usual term which we use is hyperactive.
Hyperactive,
Hyper.
sir.
We call them
Hyper.
hyperactive. As a
Most
parent,
commonly used.
we commonly use this term hyper, or sometimes we call them fidgety, right? Or overactive. These terms we use. If you don't,
Restless.
yeah,
Restless.
we have certain adjectives, one words to define certain behaviors. Am I right? If you noticed that your child is taking long time to understand things, they have to be explained twice and thrice, we start calling them slow.
Slow.
I've
graspers.
heard people call them slow coaches. Yes.
Yeah, slow learners or slow graspers. It is a pattern actually. It's with all of us that whenever we experience a behavior regularly, we start naming it with an adjective, with the one word. If you notice that your child is not comfortable to connect with new people, high chances are there we may call them shy, reserved, introvert. Yes, if we have seen it in a pattern. But what's wrong about it? If a child is given an adjective, if we are addressing them with the name, if we frequently run this narrative with our own self, we keep it in mind, we are limiting their growth. Yesterday I was telling you that what we are giving them in first 7 years is going to impact their life for next 70 years. So if I give a name to my child, right, it gets into their belief system. The moment it gets into their belief, they are unable to outgrow that identity which is given to them. It is damaging. Even today, many of us, if I ask you that if you can recall how your parents have called you, if you can recall a bad name given to you by your parents, maybe skinny, maybe fat, maybe dark, maybe short-heighted, maybe hyper, shy, dumb, whatever name, your conscious brain will not be able to recall it. आप भूल चुके हो, you already forgot it, but your subconscious is still carrying it. There are many among us, those who are feeling restricted when we can do certain things, but we restrict ourselves. No, I think I can't do it. I'm not that pro in connecting with people. I'm too shy. I'm too reserved. Even I have an opportunity to connect with the world around, I don't feel like, if I know that I'm slow, I do things easily, huh? It's been told to me. I do things easily. I'm not that pro. We started believing in the fact that I'm not pro. Of course, in life, throughout the life, will not act pro, will not take initiatives because I believe I'm not worth taking initiatives. And when this belief has been poured in my mind when I was young, how? Through these labels, tags, and these one words tend to become labels easily. If I start calling my child behavior hyperactive, if I start using this term, first I'll run this narrative with myself, then I'll run this narrative with child, and then I'll tell the word around. It's not that we only keep this running this narrative and with ourselves that my child is shy, my child is shy, my child is shy. We tell child also, you are shy, you are shy, you are shy. So the belief which I have get transferred there at their end. और फिर हम बताते हैं दुनिया को. I'll go to Sumitra's place and I'll tell Sumitra, see, my child is shy. He's shy. She's shy, huh? So she may not be asking you food, huh? You please give her. You shall be proactive. She's not pro in asking. What we do, we are telling the word around that my child is this. So this belief we don't keep over here. We put this belief in child's mind, then we put this belief in word's mind, teacher's mind, which is hindering their growth. And we are doing it unknowingly. Right? These labels are unknowingly given to parents. I always suggest parents, be conscious about your patterns of communication. Record your routines. Ask your partner to help you to identify that which words we are using frequently to define the child. Let's consciously remove those words. Right? Instead, addressing the child. Maybe it is there in my mind, right? You may keep it over here, but do not address child with those words. Yes, Harsha, you were saying something?
You just, made me, you took me back to my childhood. My parents used to call me, labeled me, she's reserved. I took it as a compliment. They kept on saying, वो reserve है, वो बड़ी वाली ज़्यादा नहीं बोलती है, she speaks less. So even if I wanted to speak, at many moments, वो लेबल लग चुका था. I realized it आज इतने after so many years I realized कि it was the label which kept which kept inhibiting me, रोकता रहा वो. मैं बोलना भी चाहती थी because that was so tender age. उस समय पर I didn't even know reserve का मतलब क्या होता है. But then it was, she doesn't speak much. I used to think it's a quality, something, maybe it makes me superior to other, even if I wanted to participate in a group, parties, birthdays. So I used to stop myself. So I realized it later, but thank you for, the session has been eye-opener a lot. I mean, everything I can relate. We had been doing so wrongly. And that hyperactive thing, my kid is so unintentionally, it comes out of her mouth. The kid, वो hyperactive है. वो तो DHA baby है. मतलब I was given those DHA capsules. He's super active. वो बैठेगा नहीं. So thank you so much for correcting
DHA
me.
baby. New term I got, huh? DHA baby.
Yes, this is the new thing. Yeah, the doctor these
then
days many
see,
of
I'll tell
the
you,
my
DHA
friends
is-
might be knowing.
DHA is must needed for everyone, right? For every child, it is needed for the brain development. Right?
Recently, अभी तो वो बहुत you have been fed with those DHA capsules. वो hyperactive है, वो hyperactive है.
फिर तो हर बच्चा फॉलिक बच्चा है, सबको फॉलिक दिया जाता है.
But thank you so much. I
But
mean,
we have a tendency actually. We are so much informed. Many a time people come to me and say, my child is ADD or ADHD or something like that. I ask them, have you got any clinical assessment done? No, we Googled it. The Google has given them a lot of information about the behaviors and all. And it's okay, even if they have those traits. Why we are naming it? If you named it for yourself, why you are addressing your child with those names? Why you are putting these beliefs in their mind that you are this? The problem is, I'm just giving you a beautiful view on this. Just you brought it. Otherwise, I would have entered into a new topic. A child who has been labeled as slow grasper, right? Many of my friends are there. Those are from counseling background, consulting background. They know, right? Things improve. We all believe in this. Things improve. There are occupational therapists. Even with special kids, things improve. Yes or no? With practice, things improve. A child who is a slow grasper today may improve tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, maybe year after year, 2 years, they may grow. But what happens when they start believing in the fact that I'm slow? Then they will stop participating in anything where they have to be quick thinker. Do you think the one who believes that I'm a slow learner will participate in any Olympiad? They'll participate in any quiz competition? Will they ever think of becoming number one in the class? And my friends, those who are from teaching background, we all know those who become number one are those, a top 5 in every class are those who choose to be top 5. Otherwise, you remain average because you prepare for average. Those who prepare for top, they get on to the top. अब बच्चे को belief ही नहीं है कि I can ever be on top. They are not preparing to be top, and they remain into that fix of average. That I can't. I'm a slow learner. Like there are coaches with us. Not everybody is of same personality, same abilities, but people, those who participated well, everything they learned to whom I see that they have learned better than others comparatively. They sometimes come and say, sir, your other coaches to have started their journey. They started doing webinars or so. But मुझे नहीं लगता कि I'm fully prepared yet. I know they are prepared. They don't feel that. I know they can do. They don't feel they can do. From where this is sourced? This belief about self that I can't do it. I can't do it compared to others. From where this feeling is coming, this belief is coming? Way back, somewhere in their young age. And we have to be conscious about it. Don't you think being early childhood educators, being teachers, being coaches, we need to tell this to the world around that it matters. It's going to impact their life. Because as a parent, no parent want to do it intentionally. They don't want to do it intentionally. It's just that they are end up doing it. Not their choice. They are not mindful about it. They are not mindful about the consequences which we need to take. Right? So all these topics which I shared, these are some brief examples of bringing mindfulness in coaching, and that's where parent coaches help. There are many areas. There are multiple challenges of parenting which are defined under mindful parenting. This is one, the subcategory of parental topics, mindful parenting. Means 2025 prominent challenges of parenting can be resolved by just being mindful, not needed much big skills. Then one category of topics is digital parenting. Tomorrow we'll be discussing very interesting topics under digital parenting. Technology and teens, technology and toddlers, digital addictions. Many beautiful topics are there. So digital parenting. Then another subcategory of parental topics is this strategic parenting, where parents are resolving big problems by using skills and strategies. Then developmental parenting is one approach, where parents have developmental approaches for child, where they improve child, work on remedies to improve their concentration, logic, linguistic, they improving their interpersonal skills, their confidence. These are the prominent this challenges which parents highlight. So remedial work we do under developmental parenting, right? So there are multiple domains. Gentle parenting you may have heard of, right? If you want to correct your child without hurting them, if you want to guide them without using negative reinforcement, how you can do it? Gentle approach of correction, gentle approach of, so there are gentle parenting. The multiple domains are there, right? Which we cover under our this programs. I'll be discussing those topics tomorrow. But today, after understanding that there are a lot of things which we don't know, we don't do by choice, we shall be aware of, and that is why there is need of a parent coach, a coach who's going to help these parents in all these challenges which they are facing in routine. So we yesterday discussed about it, the one who is going to resolve their problems, the one who is going to help them achieve their parental goals. They need to be good at assessment, and they need to be good at having more perspectives. Yesterday, somebody asked that what is coaching and how we can differentiate it from mentoring, counseling, or teaching, training. So I'll now seek your view, that if you can highlight what is your understanding on coaching. Who's a coach? What is coaching? Please. Yes.
It's more, I think coaching is more of when you are actually mentoring people also, but at the same time, there's continuous assessment of how you are performing.
Yeah,
A
true.
coach actually does that.
You are telling the process.
Yeah.
But what
But who
exactly
is
is
a coach?
coaching? What is coach? Who's coach? That's what I'm asking. Can we say
Okay.
that coach is a mentor? Can we say this in a standard way?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah,
They are more than that. Mentoring is one small part of it. So we can't say that they are
right.
exactly mentors. Who they are? Any other view?
They handhold.
They handhold. It's also a job of mentor sometimes. Those who go in the journey till the time they achieve their goals. Maybe till the time they resolve their problems, until the time they achieve their goals. The man, the one who equips you, okay, good. The one who equip you.
Customized mentoring.
Custom. You rightly pointed out. We were discussing yesterday. It is something personal, customized, right? And that
Like
means
we have coaches for sports.
sports. Yes.
Yeah, so
Pers-
that is like personalized kind of thing, right?
Personalized, true. And this too we were discussing yesterday, that coaching is always one-on-one. It's not one on many. And coaching is always towards a goal. Without goal, there cannot be any coaching. There has to be goal. And whose goal will be there? Whose goal?
It's the coach's goal.
Coach's goal, parents' goal. So if all over here right now, right, are coaches, am I addressing everyone's goal over here? Each one's goal? Like, am I addressing Harsha's goal? No. It is actually
Common goal.
it's a common goal, which is my agenda. It's my goal, which I've kept designed, keeping all your needs in mind. We have designed. It's not a personal goal. If I would have been sitting with Anita, and after understanding Anita's goals, after assessing everything, in my coaching plan, I suggested Anita that you shall undergo this training. Then this training will be a sub part of a coaching plan, a small part of a coaching plan. Keeping Anita's goals in mind, I told Anita that you have to undergo this XYZ coach training, this class. So it will be a part of coaching plan, but that's not exactly coaching. What we are doing right now is training, teaching, right? Any other view?
It's subjective, child-centric, addressing the individual needs
True,
based on
customized.
the data we collect, or the interactions we have with the parents and the situations.
Wonderful.
So it
Got
is
it. Got
absolutely
your point. It is customized, right, according to their needs. Interesting point which you brought is parental coaching. May we are going to coach parents, not children. We are going to coach parents, not children, but ultimate beneficiary will be child.
the children. The children.
So
The ultimate beneficiary will be child.
child is your our actually direct product, and parent become byproduct, but we have to coach parent because we
For
want
me,
child benefit.
see, I'll tell you, this is actually not only about child only, it is about
Child,
parent also.
yes,
For
yes.
me, the subject matter are both, parent and child both, but my coachee is parent. If we want, there has to be some changes or something has to be done by child, it has to be get done by parent, through a parent. We will not be directly doing any intervention with
Also, our
child.
goal will be based on assessments, like because each and every parent would have a different scenario or
Absolutely.
background. So
Absolutely.
I think so. Also, that assessment or data, or like how Kavita mentioned that,
And that is why yesterday we told that there's no ready-made solutions in parenting. It's always customized. And that is what rightly pointed out, that assessment becomes the first step. अब मुझे चलते चलते, if you ask a question that my child is throwing tantrums, if I start giving you answer, I will not be effective because we haven't done any assessment. I'm giving you a ready-made solution which may work with you and may not work with you, right? So there's no ready-made solution, so assessment becomes very important. Any other view? Coach is a guide, coach is a mentor, coach is a trainer, coach is a multi-dimensional role. But the objective of coaching is always enablement, enabling. Somebody highlighted equipping, right? Enabling the coachee so that they achieve their goals. We are not going to work for them. We are enabling them, empowering them, equipping them with all the tools so that they do their job effectively. Being parent, if I'm going to empower a parent, enabling a parent so that they do their parenting effectively, right? And very important point in parental coaching, which is need to be kept in mind, it's a caution actually, which we end up doing many a time out of mistake, that in parental coaching, we are going to coach parents, not children. They will invite you. Since they are paying you, they will invite you. Ahana, my child is not eating food. If you can come and talk to my child. He's not studying. Please do talk, huh? Then he will understand. If you started doing it, then you are not acting as a coach. You are acting as an extended parent hired by them, which is not coaching. Got it? Then you are an outsourced parent. And in India, people can pay for that. They can pay for that. Then you will not be able to help many. You will be able to help 10, 15 families only throughout the life. You can't take responsibility of more kids to raise them. You are not going to raise them. You're going to help parents to raise their kids effectively. So coaching will not do interventions directly with the child. If any intervention has to be done, it will be done by a parent. Even if they fail, they will come 10 times back to you. We will motivate them, will guide them, will train them, will coach them so that they do their job better. We're not going to do. If I start doing things for you, am I making you independent or dependent on me?
Dependent.
Dependent. And many a time they see us as expert parent, and now they feel limited about their abilities. That is why they keep asking you for everything now. ये नहीं करता, आप सुन लो, ये नहीं करता. आप में से कई counselors होंगे, I'm sure, those who are facing this problem, that the parent is getting fully dependent on you. Clinical counselors or counseling psychologists, the parent is saying everybody has to be done by you within half an hour or 1 hour, which when you do interventions, do some magic with the child. They expect, but something which has to be done by them has to be done by them. Parenting is their job, it's not our job. Understood? So it's very important caution, because many parent coaches, they end up doing parenting for them. Now they are not acting as a coach, they're acting as expert parent, hired by a family. It's not coaching. So coaching is enablement, and while enabling them, we may need to train them, teach them, mentor them, motivate them also. Many a time a parent will come back tired to you. They failed and they will come back to you. Oh, I tried, I failed. We have to motivate them, inspire them. So coach's job is a multi-dimensional role. Their role is multi-dimensional role, and it's not therapeutic in nature. It's a collaborative relationship rather than a healing relationship. We are not healing people. We are becoming a support system to them, but not by doing their job, by training them, coaching them, by giving them tools and techniques. Right? Whom we are going to coach? We're going to coach whom?
Parents.
Parents.
The parents.
And this is also very important aspect. Parent. Typically Indian scenario, if we talk about parent as a mother, actually, when it comes to parenting, mother is a sole responsible individual. Yes or no? Somehow this narrative is there. Or if we go a bit broader, we'll say mama and papa is parent. Those biological parents are parents. But for parenting purposes, we'll be redefining this. For us, parent is not only mother and father. For us, parent is the one who is involved in regular upbringing of child. So it includes grandparents. It includes professional nannies also. Those who are involved in regular upbringing of child. Why we are redefining it? But when tomorrow you will be doing coaching interventions, right? You will be inviting all of them. If I want to help, suppose one parent, if one parent is coming to me for help, and we are doing coaching interventions with one parent, will it be helping? Suppose any new thing you learned today, you as a mother learned, and in your family there are 3 other parents, your spouse and grandparents at home. Do you think you will be able to guide them with the same sense, and they will understand with the same intention? Tell me. Do you think?
No.
That is why when we do coaching interventions, at least we invite all the parents. They may or may not come, depends on their dynamics at home, but we invite all, so that everyone get advantage of it. And I'm suggesting you also, whatever we are discussing over here, if you think it is changing your mind, giving you a new perspective, and it is advantageous, and if you want to apply it at your home, the other family members at home shall also see it. Parents, other parents, share those recordings with them as well, so that we get onto a common page. If you go and tell them, then it will not be understood in that way. Many a time it is misunderstood as complaint, blame, guidance, right? Instructions. And the chances of miscommunication are high. Invite all. Yes, Harsha.
You just said we are not healing and coaching is not therapeutic. As a
Hmm.
healer, it just striked and I just wanted to share something.
Hmm.
I got your point. We are equipping them, we would be giving them tools, and we are not the extended parent. I got that point. But now, since my aim or my life purpose is to help the parent eventually, those who will be dealing and bringing um a well-equipped kid. Why not? I would be interested in giving them certain modalities. So can this be? Can I
See,
customize this?
I'll tell you. Rather than customizing, I'll not use the term customizing over here. I'll use the term synergizing over here. Right? If you are only a parent coach, we will suggest them not to get into therapy or healing because you're not trained on it. If you are already a healer, you can synergize both the concepts. You can
Okay.
give a complete solution to your client. But
Awesome.
if
Okay.
I'm a parent coach only, then I
Okay.
can't do anything and everything for my client.
Brilliant.
Right?
Okay. Now,
But if
since
you are
I'm
already a therapist, a
Got it.
healer, you do your job. Halaki, it is different from a coach job. That's what I highlighted. So being a coach, if parent, I know the parent is undergoing any depression, right? Or maybe they are suffering from this obsessive compulsive disorder.
Mhm.
It's a clinical work to be done on them, which has to be done by a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist. It's out of my purview. I'll not
Yeah.
get into it. I'll definitely refer them to the experts because I'm a parent coach. But if I'm also a clinical psychologist, I can do it. So if you are already a healer, do it. Otherwise, healing and coaching both are different rules. It's not same.
Okay.
Understood? So
Got it.
synergize here. It will not be somewhere that we have to mandatorily customize it. If I'm a cardiologist, if somebody is asking that I have a problem in my knees, I'll always ask them to go to an orthopedic surgeon, right? Or the orthopedician rather than getting into this cardio. Same way, right? And there will be moments where there will be moments when people start trusting you, they expect every solution from you. You must have noticed many of you, those who are already into coaching and consulting, why they came to parental coaching, because now they've seen that while doing other things, we noticed that there is also scope for parental coaching. A career coach felt, I'm sure many of you told that you are into career coaching also. A career coach felt, apart from guiding them for careers, we have seen that there is a behavioral guidance needed to a parent. So why not to get into parental coaching? And client also expect, because when they trust you, उसे लगता है सब कुछ यही देंगे. And now it is we who need to choose कि हमारी limit कहाँ पे. What is our area of work? Client doesn't know. Client हमारा general public में they feel कि they are counselor, so they are counselor for everything. It's we who need to know what is my area of work. If something is beyond my qualification, I will definitely refer them to experts. And that's what is suggested, that you shall not get into anything and everything until you are qualified on it. That is why I specifically highlighted that this job is different from healing and therapies. If you are doing it, you may synergize both. Got it? Harsha, clear? Harsha, many of you are there. Just want to know from you, how many of you felt and you had this question in mind, a 3 days training or maybe a 30 days program which has been introduced to you by our training coordinators, how it will make me a great coach? How can I be a great parental coach in 30, 35 days or 40 days training? Anyone thought of this? Isn't socha aise? Or anyone who thought that if I don't have a background of psychology, so how can I get into coaching? Anyone thought? Is there any mind? I don't have a degree of psychology. Like, how can I pursue this parental coaching as a role? I just want to give you one view which will give you absolute clarity or no doubt in mind that coaching and counseling are two different terms. If you are using a term counselor, the moment I use the term counselor, I need to have a counseling degree legally. Like in India, nobody is asking, but if you work abroad, if you are using a term counselor, you need to have a degree of
Psychology.
Counseling specifically. Any certification you need to have in counseling psychology when you are using a term counselor. And the moment you use the term coaching, it doesn't require any degree, right? Coach may get into a role through certifications. It doesn't require a degree. Globally even. India में तो it is अभी तक तो चल ही रहा है. India में अभी भी laws are coming that when you are using the term counselor, you need to have degree. So far, there's no much this botheration about it. But globally, our coaches are working in UK, USA, Canada, Australia. I told you, when they use the term coach, they need to have certification and they get their business license to work there, right? So whenever you are using a term coach, it's a role enhancement job. As a coach, I'm enhancing someone's role. I'm equipping someone, empowering someone. So we are not doing any therapeutic work or any healing work. That is why we don't need any degree in that, right? So you can legally work with government organization, with private organization, when you are using a term called coach. ये तो था legal term पे. दूसरा आते हैं ideally. Ideally, if I have to work, do I need to have a psychology degree? Whatever topics which are needed, right? Whatever topics which are needed in this role, topics of psychology are already incorporated in this program. In the thorough program which we do, we have already incorporated those topics so that ideally also you shall have complete knowledge, all tools, right, to serve your clients in coaching. So this usually is a common question asked to me, that do I need to be a psychologist to get into coaching? Do I need to be a child psychologist? Do I need to be a parent coach? No, right? Neither legally nor ideally. But there are certain traits which we expect. If any one of you want to get into coaching with us or from anywhere, if you want to get into this role, there are certain traits which a coach shall have to be a great coach. I'll be brief in it, right? I'll seek your views also. So there are 6 traits which we expect. Six traits which we expect a coach shall have. Means you shall be mindfully working on these traits. The first is empathy, which is a foundational requirement. And interestingly, nobody is pro in empathy. Nobody is perfect. If I claim that I am doing coaching from last 15 years, I'm so pro in empathy. Empathy is automatic with me. It's not. The one who is claiming that empathy is automatic, that means they are not. Empathy is something which need to be practiced consciously. जब हम ये कह रहे हैं कि each case is different, each child is different, each parent is different, then we need to consciously practice empathy. Right? What is empathy?
Putting one in someone's
stepping in
else.
others' shoes,
Yeah.
and feeling their pain.
Absolutely. This is a very typical definition: stepping into others' shoes and feeling
the same.
their pains. It's about, after getting into their shoes, after getting into their place, think like them, feel like them. Whether it is a good feeling or a bad feeling, a pain or maybe a joy, feel it from their place. Think like them. Think about opportunities from their place. Think about fears from their place. Right? When you start thinking like a coachee and feeling like a coachee, you are consciously practicing empathy. And it's always a conscious step, a one more step. Before I make any judgment about my case, I give myself one more chance. I stop. I take a pause. I take one more step to be near to them, close to them. Try to feel like them. Try to think like them. That's what is conscious practice of empathy. And if you are not empathetic, if you're not trying to be empathetic, then assessment will go wrong. Something which you get impacted by not being empathetic is assessment. And if foundation of coaching is wrong, entire coaching will go wrong. If I haven't assessed the case well, my suggestions, my guidance, my coaching plan will not work. Second trait which coaches need to be good at listening. And you all are great listeners. You are listening to me for long, from around 70 minutes, 75 minutes you're listening to me. You're great listeners. But if you go by proportion, the suggested proportion, it is 1:1 ratio of speaking to listening in coaching. This is the ideal frame, ideal requirement, that if I'm in a 160 minutes coaching intervention, maximum 30 minutes as a coach I can speak, 30 minutes I have to make my coachee speak. My entire assessment is dependent on my coachee's speech, whatever they speak about themselves. So this is something which is very important. Of course, listening without judgment, we'll discuss in what not to do. But what to do is, we have to consciously plan our coaching engagements in a way that we are making our coachees speak. Right? And over here, art of asking questions helps us a lot. Facilitation. Have you heard of this term? Facilitation, Google it. Get to know more about this term, facilitation, which help as a communication approach in coaching. Coaches are also termed as facilitators. So facilitation helps a lot into coaching, art of asking question. So 1:1 is the ratio. And many of us know that we are good listeners. Consciously we know it, subconsciously we may not know who we are. Just say, how many of you have been working in teaching and training, or are working in teaching and training? How many of you? Those who have been into teaching and training, and those who are into teaching and training. 1, 2, 3,
Training.
right? 4, 5. Many of us, huh? Even I have
Teaching
been
and
into
training both. Teaching and training both.
teaching and training. Ragini. So many of us. Now, when I moved from training to coaching, many of you are already into teaching and training. I faced this problem. I was unable to identify what's going wrong with my coaching. No hard feelings, but just to understand the relationship between a trainer and trainee, teacher and student. Our relationship is this. Trainer-trainee relationship is this. Teacher-student relationship is this. A teacher and a trainer is a giver. Yes or no? They are subject matter experts. Am I right? People come to them for help and they expect their details, their explanations. Am I right or wrong? This is what the teacher's role is. If I have a problem, I'll go to a teacher, I'll ask a question, and teacher will detail me. She will explain me, or he will explain me. A trainer will. So in teaching and training, we are into giving mode most of the time. It's not that we are not listening, but the proportion of listening is very small. The question is of 1 or 2 lines and answer is of 2 pages. Detailed. Am I right?
Yes, yes.
If I as a trainer or as a teacher, if I have remained into that role for 2 years, 1 year, right? My brain got conditioned to give more than listen more. And it is demand of that role. According to that role, it is definitely an appropriate approach, because the role demands it. Being a teacher and trainer, when you go to a 40 minutes class, who speaks more, teacher or student? Teacher. So it's a demand of that role. Right now I'm trainer. Who speaks more? Me. There's no need of listening. I feel like that my job is to explain more in detail. So when we are conditioned to give, we feel restricted to listen. It's not automatic now. It is preconditioned. And if now you get into this role of this coaching, you have to be a conscious listener. Consciously, you have to plan your engagements 1:1, because first 6-7 months I faced this problem that I was unable to identify. My mentor helped me to identify this problem. That since you spent some 8-9 years in training, the moment you enter into coaching, you are into same zone. बंदे ने पूछा कि my child is not good at connecting with people, और मैंने झड़ी लगा दी remedies. ये कर लो, do this, this will happen. But I haven't understood the case in detail, right? Because I was not into listening mode, I was into giving mode. The moment I heard that they need my help in this case, I have ample stuff. I'm a subject matter expert. I went on. No hard feelings, please, huh? And Please don't mind it, but I'm just telling you that how our brain works. We get conditioned. And you are right, PS, that facilitation is introduced in schools now. You are making your lesson plans in a way that you are asking questions to students, right? Inviting them. They are participating. I know.
I think even when we interact with the parents in the parent teacher association, there also these days we are guided that you listen to the parent, because parents have a lot many grievances about you, about school, as well as about their own child, though they know that they think that the child is perfect, their child is perfect, being a parent, but
I
still
agree.
we have
Good.
to listen to them. So I think now the scenario is being changing, that teachers are listening to the parents, what they want to say, and then question it up that how do you know this, and when have you noticed it, and so many other questions
That
are
means you
going
are
on.
being trained. You are being trained on art of
Yeah.
asking questions. And it's a
Yes.
conscious effort. For a teacher, it's a conscious effort. And that's what I'm telling
Right.
you. If you come from teaching or training background, initially you have to do a conscious effort in coaching. We can't go with the same approach. Coaching demands conscious listening. That's what I want to do. Highlight. I hope we are in line, huh? No bad feelings about me, right? The third, which is a very important point, which third trait, being a parent coach, I need to be a good communicator also. Good communication skills, and everyone, you all are coming from teaching, training, consulting background. Somebody worked in corporate. So basic communication pattern which we have is definitely humble. We are good in communication, right? We are good in choosing our words. But one thing which is very important in this is that I know people, those who opt to get into this, they are at least good communicators. But there's one pattern which is very interesting and important to be understood, right? That now you're going to coach adults with high ego. Your coachee is not a child. Your coachee is not a young adult. Your coachee is a grown-up adult who is an adult with high ego. Right now, I am dealing with adults of high ego. If I got to know that Kavita is not doing parenting in the right way, if I go and tell Kavita, see, your approach is wrong. Your child is being hurt, Kavita, huh? If I directly go and tell Kavita this way, will she be in line with my idea? Will she be accepting it? No. We need to understand that the adult learning principles are different. So as my communication pattern with adult has to change. Pedagogy तो हम सब ने पढ़ी है. Those who are in early childhood, है ना, teaching and all, we know the art, right, of training young kids or young adults. But andragogy is different. Andragogy is the concept, right? It is science and art of training and coaching adults with high ego. So one homework I'm giving you, which we'll be discussing. Homework के लिए आपके पास time कम ही होगा, right? या morning कल करना पड़ेगा. The homework is that you have to Google a term called adult learning principles. Adult learning principles. 6 principles it will be highlighting. I'll try to brief these principles. In every adult communication, if you are a trainer to adult, if you're a teacher to adult, or a coach to adult, if you're doing business with adults, these principles are magical. The moment you know these principles, you incorporate those principles in your communication, the magic happens. Actually, coach-coachee relationship is not this. You're not a giver. It's this. Coach-coachee relationship is equal. It's not this. So in this case, I can't be loud with you. I can't be disrespecting. I can't correct you directly. I have to have now. I have to be facilitative approaches now. Facilitation, which I'm talking about. Instead of directly putting things right up front in a right or wrong way, black and white, we have to choose a midway, a non-hurting way with adults. So these 6 principles we'll discuss tomorrow, but just to write down, you can write down, there are 3 R's which are very important to be kept consciously. We shall be conscious about in our communication about 3 R's. First R is respect. Second is relevance. Right? I'm not just completing it. And third is rationale. Respect, rationale, and relevance is very important when we are dealing with adults. They're not just going to agree with you. Maybe when you go to a classroom where students of third standard are sitting or fourth standard are sitting, they are quite receptive about whatever teacher is giving them. Whatever teacher is giving them, they are quite receptive about it. They are not into cross-validating the information. Whatever is given to them, they just imbibe it. But you adults, whenever you listen to someone, you validate it based on your wisdom. When Anita is doing this, when you are nodding your head, you are accepting what I'm saying. You are validating my words. Your conscious brain is validating what I'm saying. Then only you accept it. Otherwise, you don't accept it. Kids don't do it. Kids, whatever you give them, they term it truth. They just imbibe it. Right? Young kids. But as they grow, they start asking questions. They may cross-validate it. But adults do it. Adults will never accept anything which is irrelevant to them, not logical to them, which is not matching their goals. जब आप करते हो ऐसे ऐसे जैसे ही मैं कुछ ऐसी बात बोलूं और वो नहीं that means you invalidated what I said. You're in denial about it because whatever you're listening, it's not getting imbibed directly with you by you. Your conscious brain is validating it, which is different with adults. So you have to be relevant, you have to be respectful, full of rationales. Rest other principles we'll be discussing tomorrow. You have to Google it. What is the term which you are not need to Google? Adult learning principles. Right? ALPs. And the term which we use, the concept, the theory, which is premise of ALPs, that theory is andragogy. Pedagogy तो आपने पढ़ी है, जितने भी early childhood educators होंगे यहाँ पे. It is andragogy, which is about how an adult learns. Google it. Right? So this is the third trait that we shall learn about adult learning principles so that we can improve our communication patterns. This is also very interesting. The fourth point, it says that we shall be clear and firm on the ideological stand which we have. It's very important in coaching. Now what happens sometimes, like nowadays we are in that era where things are coming up in our life in bits and pieces. Half cooked food we are receiving and we happily eating it. Yes or no? Things are not coming to us in the right context. Like we are now getting our learnings through YouTube videos. We are learning through YouTube shorts. We are learning through micro reels, right? 60-second video is telling you how to raise your kids. They are giving you tips. They can't train you how to deal with the kids, how to deal with the problems. It's incomplete in nature. Suppose if you came across a video of Manish which is saying that we shall love our kids in abundance. Love shall never be on bargain. We shall love them in abundance. It shall never put on, shall never be on bargain. How many of you are in line with my idea? How many like this idea? If I'm passionate about saying this, love shall be in abundance, no bargain on it, no rationing on it, it shall be unconditional. How many of you agree with me? How many of you like this idea that love shall be unconditional, in abundance it has to be given? No? How many of you? No one. So what is the apprehension? Why you are not liking this idea? Kavita liked it, right? Suppose if some Kavita liked this idea. Kavita liked this idea, okay, wow, wonderful, so superb. And she started doing coaching on basis of the idea, right? And she started highlighting in her coaching interventions, okay, love shall be given in abundance, no rationing on it, no bargain on it, unconditional love. So Namrata was there in her coaching intervention, and Namrata said, but that way though we will be making our kids this, we will be spoiling them. We can't love them all the time. There has to be moments of correction. How can we love them all the time? अब इसका आंसर कविता को पता नहीं. कविता ने तो रील देखी थी. She तो just seen that 60-second video and she liked the idea. And ideas are not sustainable in coaching. You need to be thorough. If you're going to coach someone, you have to be thorough enough to address all their apprehensions. We have heard it pata nahi kitne times, so many times, unconditional love. Have you heard it? Even you must have used saying this, telling the word around, we shall be loving our kids unconditionally. We shall be loving our kids unconditionally. But if somebody asks you how, then you will be in a fix.
I think love is something which is always there, but we have to differentiate between love and how we are going to discipline the child, or we have to deal with the child. Because
that
even
means-
if the child gets the say 3 out of 10, okay, for a moment we get angry, but the love does not fail there. So we have to make
It is
this-
failing badly. It is missing. It's not there. I'll tell
Unconditional
you.
love.
I'll give you a beautiful perspective on it, because anyways, if you brought it, I'll come back to this point, right? What's going on in our mind? How ideologies are different from beliefs. Ideas are different. Belief is different. Idea is saying unconditional love, but belief is making you do your mistake. It happens sometimes when your child is cranky. They are demanding something you are not willing to give, and they're cranky. And they demanded something and you are willing to give. 2 scenarios. Your child demanded something from you and you are somewhere willing to give it, and you given it to the child. The moment you have given to them whatever they demanded, at that point of time, your body language, your eyes display compassion. Because you did it something which they want, you are quite near to your child at that time. You speak love at that time. Your body language is compassionate. Your eyes are compassionate. I love you. You want it now? Do it. We are very happy at the time. But the moment your child demanded something from you and you are not giving it, do you think the same compassion, the same love, the same hug, same kiss is there when they are throwing tantrums? Is it there? The same compassion?
It's not possible, sir. It can't happen.
It can't happen. I will
It's
not
not
agree with the
possible.
fact that it can't happen. It is not happening. That's true. It's not
Yeah.
happening, but it can happen. Now, that's what I want to tell you, that when they demand something and we agree, love is present. When they demand something and we don't agree, love is absent. Right? That means it's conditional. You agree with me, I love you. If you don't agree with me, love is absent. Maybe for some time, but it is absent. Yes or no? How it is unconditional? It is conditional.
No, I differ on this,
Yes, yes.
because love does not or should not depend on your actions. Actions are different based on the situation.
But
Love
the
does not
one
change.
who is being
Somewhat.
treated, for them, the love and agreements coexist. Love and disagreement doesn't coexist.
No, see,
Hmm.
this can see what I have experienced and what I have been practicing with
Hmm.
my children as well as with the students and the parents at school. So these conditions, whatever we want, we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are certain things which we follow in our routine, regular life. They do not start on one fine morning. It does not happen. It has to start from the day one. That is what the clarity is all about. The clarity of mind, what you want to do. So there is no question of feeling guilty.
You don't get
or
into
feeling
के पहले दिन से हुआ कि बाद हुआ. I'm just giving you a situation. You just understand and then you will get your answer. If my child is cranky about something, right? Many a time what we do, we choose to move away. We choose to escape from that place. We avoid sometimes. Many, like 99.99%, you may not be. You may not be. Maybe you know this concept and you may be doing it differently, but 99.99% parents, their love is not present at the time. But I know those parents, I do it, and many of coaches, those who are aware of it, it's just a one-step movement. They choose to do it. The moment the child is cranky, they choose not to go away. Rather, they kiss their child, they hug their child,
They
and
give
they tell
in.
them that I
Yeah,
love
they
you.
give in.
I love you, but I don't agree with you. I don't want to see you crying, beta. I love you, but I don't agree with you. But when you don't practice it, when you choose to give them this time out, when you escape from that, what message we are establishing? Where there is no delivery, there is no love. Where there is no delivery, there is no love. Love is actually absent for child. For child, maybe we justify ourselves. Mera pyar to pyar hai na. See, we don't point out in this entire process the mistake which we do. We pass on a message to child that we don't love you, which is not true. I love you, but I don't like this behavior. I love you, but I don't agree with you. This has to be the clear communication at the time, so that the wrong message never shall pass on. That even if I agree or I disagree, I keep loving my child. The receiver shall keep getting it unconditionally. You can still say no. You can discipline your child with love. You need not to be angry. We need to learn how to do it. शायद हमें आता नहीं. Discipline किया, and that's what I was talking about. We can discipline our kids. We can be firm with them. We will not agree with them, but we'll keep loving them. We'll be positive with them. We'll not threat them. We'll not hurt them. We'll not use this negative reinforcement. We'll not be punitive, provided we know it. Are you getting me? अब मेरा कहना ये है, अगर मैं किसी रील में आके बोलता रहूं कि we shall be positive with our kids, we shall not be punitive, it sounds good. It sounds good कि we shall not be punitive with our kids. पर अगर आपको मैं ये सिखाऊं ही ना how to correct your child without being punitive, without negative reinforcement, if I don't train you on that, if I don't know that, then it will be absolutely an idea. It will never be a belief. And if you're started doing coaching based on ideas, right, then we will never be seen as a pro coaches. Will never be seen with high integrity as professional coaches. I have to change. क्योंकि जैसे ही मैंने बोला कि you have to love kids unconditionally, किसी ने पूछ लिया how, and if I can't justify it, if I can't explain it, then I have to change my stand. I keep changing my stand. If I tell people that we shall be positive, उन्होंने आके बोला कि मेरे वाला तो नहीं हर था. They are so very jiddi, stubborn. How to correct them? And if I don't have way, I'm only saying positive, then I'm philosophical. और coaching में सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत यही हो रही है, right? Whatever is available to us so far through YouTube or through a lot of books, mostly, I'm not saying all, mostly it is talking about what's going wrong and what's going right. The ideal situations and the bad situation, the worst situation. Okay, there are parents, those who are badly dealing with their kids, and the parents, those who are doing it in a great way, right? But nobody is talking about if somebody is doing it in the wrong way and they want to change, how to move from this to this place. This how is missing. The action plan is missing. Strategies are missing. When they will start moving from this place to this place, what all problems they will face, what all challenges they will face, do we have solution to all those challenges as a coach? Then only you will be helping them in this journey. Being a mentor, being a coach, you can only help them in this journey from wrong to right, provided you have all resources with it. And that's where I differentiate on the fact that the material which you may have, right, which is talking about what's going great and what's going wrong, is definitely making you emotional, right? You're feeling emotional about it, but it's not helping. It's not giving you action plan. Are you getting me? So far in this program, what I'm sharing, everything is making sense to you. But am I giving you tools? Not in all cases. I'm talking sense, but tools yet not. Right? There are programs for it, detailed programs. If you're going to talk about this topic, how to make kids independent, it will be a discussion of 1.5 hours. Then only you will be understanding it from all the aspects. All the loopholes will be covered. All the questions, probable questions of the client are answered in 1.5 hour discussion. but I just discussed about 10 minutes on that topic in this program. But दोनों cases में it's making sense. हम कहेंगे अच्छी चीज है, और इतना सुन के if we start doing coaching, then we'll get stuck somewhere when these cross questions will come. Are you getting me? Until हर problem के solution is not ever in one step. If I give you a solution to one problem, right, the moment you will start applying that solution, there will be probable challenges which will come. And if I don't train you on how to deal with these probable challenges, you will not be able to apply solutions. Are you getting me? आपको अभी एक वीडियो दिखाता हूं मैं मार्शमेलो एक्सपेरिमेंट पे. आपने मार्शमेलो एक्सपेरिमेंट देखा? You got to know, oh, that's great. We shall not be delivering demands of kids instantly. It shall be delivered, right? It shall be postponed, delayed. So we got to know the concept. We got to know the value of that concept. But the moment you will start applying it, the moment you will start delaying the response, the child will come up with tantrums. And if you don't know how to manage tantrums, this approach of delaying responses, delaying deliveries will fail. It will eventually fail if coach is not equipped with solutions of probable challenges which will come while applying solutions. I'm just giving an example. So it's a thorough step-by-step approach. A coaching shall start only when you are thorough, when you are clear on the ideology. Then only you shall take it ahead. Next time when you read a book, next time when you watch some videos, try to find out how, then what. Instead of talking about what's going wrong and what's going right, let's talk about how to move from wrong to right. If any book, any video is talking about it, it's worth. Otherwise, it's just gyan, it's philosophy, right? Unconditional love may sound good, but it will be philosophical till the time we don't tell parents how to display it, how to put it in action. Being positive with kids all the time will sound good, but it's philosophy till the time we don't tell them how to correct kids with positivity or positive reinforcement, how to encourage them to good deeds. Are you getting my point? अभी मैंने आपसे कहा, do not bribe your kids, right, to get things done from them. Had I told you, then what? If they're not doing things, if we don't bribe them, then what? Then what shall we do? Had I told you? No. Still, जो भी मैंने बोला, it sounds good to you. It's philosophical till the time it is not supported by an action plan. It's philosophy. Bribing is not. I told you consequences, but I have never given you the solution. Had I? No. But आपको पता ही नहीं चला कि मैंने आपको solution नहीं दिया. Because what I'm discussing with you is making sense. It's a good idea, and we buy ideas. We have to nurture those ideas so that it turns out to be our belief. And the day it will be a belief, then only you will be able to coach people. Are you getting me? And only you will be able to address. Understood? Moving on. So this is fourth trait, which is very important, that as coaches we need to have. And one trait will help you a lot in increasing your perspectives about parenting. Right? Your solutions, the different approaches parents are using. If you choose to be a keen observer in your surroundings. In our surroundings, there are many parent-child communications happening, parent-child dealings happening. Yes or no? There are certain opportunities. If you go out, right, out of your house, certain opportunities are there where you can observe parent-child communication. Each parent is dealing with same situation differently. Yes or no? And when you choose to observe parents dealing with the same situation differently, you get to see some worst practices being followed, and you get to see some great practices being followed by parents. If you just sit in the park for half an hour and you see how parents are playing with their kids, situation is same, but their approach of play will be different, the way they are involved. Am I right, wrong? If one child is climbing, one child is falling, how they are dealing in the same situation, it's different. And these opportunities we have in our surroundings. When you go to a mall, when you get to see a lot of tantrums in front of candy shops, toy shops, है? And if you just choose to observe people, you'll find that every parent is dealing with those tantrums differently. One is failing drastically, and one is beautifully dealing with that. And that beautiful approach becomes a new perspective. Yes or no? A new approach. And this observation will add on to your perspective before you get personal experience with your clients. Now, once you will have 100 coaching interventions done, you will have enough experience. But before doing those 100 coachings, you can still increase your perspectives by observations. Next time when you are in restaurant, you can observe some good practices going on there, some worse practices going on there. Next time when you are in a PTM, you'll find out some great practices. Next time when you will be in a sports event of a school, you will be seeing parents dealing with the child's failure differently, celebrating their success differently. Someone is giving material reward, somebody is creating an amazing experience for the child. They do celebrate it in a different way. Next time when you are in a sports stadium, you will see different approach of parents to motivate their kids, to inspire their kids when they are not doing well. And there are many moments where you drop your kids, where you pick your kids, and airport lounges, train compartments, pediatricians waiting lounges. You get to see a lot, provided you choose to observe. Since you opted to be in this role now, have a parkhi nazar now onwards, and you will definitely be gifted with a lot of new perspectives. It will definitely help you a lot. So observation we recommend to our coaches. Conscious observation is needed. Okay, now reading is also much needed in coaching. People, those who want to be great coaches, we expect that they shall read. Even if they're not avid readers, at least something which is relevant to their job role, they shall read. And reading, maybe you have to be conscious about focusing on how action plan more compared to philosophical views. If that philosophy is supported by action plan, then only it will be advantages to a coach, right? To a parent also. Practicality, absolutely an action plan. What to do? What will be my next conduct if my child is doing this? Right? What shall be my action plan? That has to be, that's very important in coaching. Then only you will be able to give an action plan to your coaches in those interventions. Reading, maybe you have to be, a lot of stuff is available in India also on parenting. Interestingly, the world is looking up to us for parenting, you know. Indians are rated high for their parenting. So some best practices we can opt from West. They are doing some great, few things they are doing amazingly good, and few things we are doing great. Not everything of West we shall imbibe. Certain things of West is not matching our culture. Right? The way they are making their kids independent, the way they reinforce this healthy, this movements, habits. Few countries are doing great in that. Reinforcement is good. Their discipline is good. And there are few things which are not at all good with them, which we need not to copy. Right? They are not bonded the way we are bonded. That's missing there. Certain approaches are amazingly good at our place. We need to be a bit choosy about it now. Next time when you are reading a foreign author, you have to be just selective about what matches our culture. We will imbibe it. What doesn't matches our culture will not imbibe it. Right? Or so far, most of the books which are based on research are written by people from West. India, there are a lot of people, those who written books हमारे कोचेस ने कोई 50 से ज्यादा किताबें लिखी होंगी, but the book which is based on certain researches, right, that is not yet much been written in India. Sorry to say this, but it is, we all know, many of you are researchers, you know how much support researcher is getting, right? Researchers are not getting funded. Medicine mein, there is a lot of funding in research, but psychology mein still there is not much funds available for research. So that is why, so they worked on it, they spent their 15 years to write a book. So they incorporated a lot of things, a lot of statistics. अपने यहाँ पे we are into secondary research. हम 4 किताबें पढ़ेंगे और 5वीं अपनी लिख देंगे. So it's a secondary research we are doing, no primary research. So that is why not much tools are available to us. Philosophically, we are great. When it comes to tools, lesser tools we have. That is why we are dependent on them so far. But still, hopeful is that now the count of coaches, many are there, those who dedicated their life to it. They have built their whole career in it. So they are doing great job. They are doing a lot of research. Their personal work is there. Their personal experiences are bringing up something new in it. Tools and strategies. So reading is important. Lot to read. I can share a lot of stuff with you to read. I shared a book yesterday. That's a very good book, right? Parenting with Love and Logic. You must read that book. Get it printed. I'll share one more book on communication today with you. That's also a very interesting book. Whenever you get time, get it printed, read it. Right? All set? Any queries so far on this? These are certain traits which a coach shall have. Same way, there are a few traits which coach shall not have, which we'll be discussing tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be sharing, I told you I'll be talking about those different domains in parenting. What all topics are covered in digital parenting and all this, we'll be discussing it tomorrow. Tomorrow we are meeting at 11 o'clock. I would really appreciate if you do your homework. If you want quick material, I can share that one small PDF on adult learning principle. So you can read it. One pager only. Rest you can research. One pager just to have a quick glance so that you can contribute tomorrow when we'll discuss about ALPs. Before I wind up, any query? Any point? All set?
So you'll be discussing the details of coaching tomorrow, how we go about and all that.
What we do, how we do, that too I'll discuss in detail, but there are a lot of other things which I'll be sharing, right? As a coach, we shall have. And what are the domains where we have to work on? Like if you are independent into studies, in parenting is not about, if you heard about mindful parenting, it's just a one vertical. If you heard of gentle parenting, it's one vertical. If you heard of developmental parenting, it's one vertical. There are multiple verticals. I'll be explaining how vast this subject is and in which all areas you can work. And finally, once you are pro on all, you can find your niche. That's how people do. They find their niche to support teenagers only. So they have teen parent programs only. There are people, those who are into working in this toddler and preschooler age. There are few those who are working only in mid-schooler age. So different brackets are there. Are people those who are only building up themselves in digital parenting domain. So they're guiding people on digital parenting, designing programs and courses on it. Right? So I'll be introducing that what all things are there in this. Right?
Yes, sir.
So, any query? Otherwise, we'll wind up. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And today
Can
we
I-
were 15. Yes, Sumitra, go ahead.
Sir, like I said yesterday, I'm a mother of a single parent of a 31-year-old adult. Okay. 22 years I brought him up, single-handedly. But somewhere I feel, I have failed miserably. The values are different. But I'm still going through the trauma, especially last 3 months. And whatever you're telling about this ID model, adult learn principle, I had just, couple of days back, I had completed a course from, as a, certified learning and development manager. So I've gone through all those things. But my question now here is, when I feel that, I'm regretting and I'm trying to, I'm trying to know where I went wrong as a mother last 22 years. Do you think, your program can make me a good parent coach? Because I myself am doubting whether I was right or wrong for this 22
I
years.
understood your point. It's a question of many coaches that, like, we are struggling with the same problems. How can I guide? I can understand your emotion and feeling behind it. But if you are mindful about it, if you are speaking about it, that means you're mindful about it. If you're mindful about it, that means you can bring a lot of changes in you, and you can be a great contributor in the word's life because you know what went wrong. You can guide the word around that these are the areas which need to be kept in mind. You have to be mindful about it, right? So I think if you don't keep this in mind, that whether I will be a great contributor, I believe you may be telling them better because you have seen it, you have experienced it. The consequences which we tell the word around may come. You have seen those consequences closely, right? Mindfulness is important, and the way you told, that means you became mindful. It's the first step, and you will be able to bring a lot of changes in you, in your conscious, and you will definitely be helping the world around, for sure, right? And tell me.
I would like to say something to Sumitra ma'am. Sumitra ma'am, you should not be feeling low or not be degrade yourself, because you have done very much right what was required at that particular point of time or in that particular situation. So you have done your whatever you can do it, you would have done it over there. And I will say one thing, because I am also a mother of 35-year-old and 30-year-old, two kids of mine, and now I have a granddaughter too. There is always a generation gap. There is always a some difference in the thought process. So we have to accept their thought process, and we have to accept what we have done. So I don't think so you have to go into some trauma or some depressive mood over there.
No, no.
So please take care of yourself.
Absolutely nothing like that. And I always believe psychology, behavioral sciences, whenever you are in coaching and counseling, it's all game of perspectives. It's all game of perspectives. There's nobody who is pro and nobody who is expert. Even if you have spent 50-20 years into one role, nobody is expert, right? It's all game of perspectives. Or yesterday I didn't have, today I have. That's it. Intention was never wrong. Nobody had a bad intention. Nobody in the world, no parent in the world have bad intention. It's just that something was not visible to us. It's okay. I was talking, when I got into parenting, right? My daughter was 9 days old. I started telling the word around how to parent kids, and my child was just, I had only 9 days experience. And that was my worst experience. That is why I got into parenting. If you allow me, I'll tell you what happened. Just to change the mood. When my daughter, I got my daughter after 3.5 years of my marriage. When this happened, so this when they give child to you, when they brought her from nursery, so my wife was under that impact. She was sleeping. So when they gave it to me, I was unable to hold my child. I said, "Ko गिर ना जाए कहीं, बहुत छोटा है." So I didn't have any experience of it, and I felt bad about myself. I can't hold my child. I'm feeling loved, but I can't. I have a fear in mind. उसी रात क्या हुआ? My mother-in-law, my wife, and me, we were in a private room, and I was in corporate at that time. I was working. You know, corporate wale, they don't allow you even if you are on paternity leave. I was on 1 o'clock in night. I was working on my laptop doing some work, and at the same time, the child started crying. My daughter started crying, and I noticed that there's a black stuff over there. I immediately started calling doctors and everyone. Come. See what happened, see what happened. My mother-in-law woke up, see what happened. And when they come, they see, so the scene, it's nothing, it's the first stool of the child. I said, it is black. I said, it has to be black. It is healthy. It is healthy. It's the first stool of the child. It has to be this way only. And for me, it was a mockery that what happened to you? Buddy, you don't know. What is the milestones of child's life? When I started Googling, I got to know that India, there is nobody talking about it. And then I thought, this is the area where I can work, I have to work. I kept searching for 9 days. 9 days was enough for me to realize what I doesn't know, what I have to do for the world around. And I got into this role. After 9 days, I resigned from my corporate job. I didn't know everything about parenting, but I got into it. I must have failed so many times. I failed in my parenting also many times. Many things I did it wrong till the time I read it. I attended something. I read something. I experienced something in my coaching and now I realized I am doing certain mistakes. I went back. I corrected myself. But I tried. I kept trying. The day I got to know, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody is doing mistakes. It's just a moment to accept it and redo it as much as we can. Nothing to feel bad about it, right? It's all about experiences, right? Love shall be intact. That's the most important thing, right? See you tomorrow. We'll resume this discussion with what not to be done in parenting, in parental coaching. We'll be discussing it tomorrow. See ya. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.